Hello everyone and welcome back to the SteemTrail Gaming News. Today is the 24th of May 2018. My name is Kralizec and I will be your host for the evening. Today we got 3 stories for you guys. First, we're going to talk about the Nintendo Switch as it's getting its, well, not really second generation, but a cheaper version. Secondly, we're going to take a look at Sony, which may be considering to make a new portable console. And last of all, we're going to take a look at Battlefield 5, as it seems that EA has actually learned something for once, and there will be no loot boxes in Battlefield 5. But let's begin with Nintendo Switch. Well, not really a surprise hit console, but somewhat a surprise hit because of the failure of the Nintendo Wii U, is going to be getting a second iteration. Well, not really a second iteration. What will happen is there will be now a version of the Nintendo Switch sold without the dock, essentially making it a pure portable console. And this is sort of interesting because initially, when we saw the announcement of the Nintendo Switch, really it was pitched as a home console that if you want, you can take with you. And you can play along the road and then again put it into a dock once you get somewhere, assuming you had a TV available, or you could use it on travel. But it seems that Nintendo is realizing that the Switch is actually bought, I think, primarily because of its portability. It isn't bought as a home console. The people who do play consoles, they are very likely to already have a PlayStation 4 or an Xbox or even a PC if they are PC gamers. But you can't really take your PC unless you have a notebook with you and travel with it. And even then, gaming on a notebook, let's say on the bus or in a plane, isn't really the most comfortable thing. And the majority of games played by people these days are online games, and that's again not ideal when traveling with a bus or with an airplane. On the other hand, the Switch has a much larger focus on single player games, making it ideal for traveling. That's still really the only reason I'm still considering it. And with getting an only portable version that will be cheaper, I may actually buy it for my vacation this year. So right now the bundle is available only in Japan, and we can assume that over time we will actually start to see it in the Western nations like Europe, America, or even anywhere else. And again, it doesn't include the TV dock, and right now the bundle costs approximately $226. This includes the Switch tablet and 2 Joy-Con controllers, but it doesn't include the Joy-Con drip, the HDMI cable, the AC adapter, so you can only charge it using a USB-C cable. But this dockless version is actually available for $45 less. With making a quick assumption, that means you can save about 20% of the price of the Switch, making it a really good deal in my opinion, especially if you really only planned to use the Switch for traveling. Then it's an amazing, great deal, which if you haven't bought it yet and you're still thinking about it, this may actually be the time to buy a Nintendo Switch. On top of that, right now we do know that there are plenty of not only first-party titles, but also AAA titles from third-party developers coming to the Switch, and more are coming as it is a huge success. So you don't have to be afraid of having a limited game library, which again is something many people, I think, were somewhat worried when the Switch initially started selling. So yeah, if you were waiting for a cheaper version of the Switch, you don't really care about gaming at home, this is the bundle for you. Okay, let's move on to our second piece of news, and we're going to stay on the topic of portable gaming devices for a little bit longer, as it seems that Sony is actually considering making another portable console. And Sony's portable consoles have been really lopsided. The PlayStation Portable was a huge commercial success, and Sony really thought it meant, yeah, people want these kind of devices. But then the PS Vita came out, and we all do know how that exactly, well, came to be, as it was actually just a few days when we reported on the fact that there will be no more physical games actually created for the Vita. So, and pretty early on in its lifespan, also Sony stopped producing first-party games, focusing on the PlayStation 4, as it was actually making them a ton more money compared to the Vita. But according to John Codera, who is the chief of Sony Interactive Entertainment, Sony and its brand PlayStation could once again release a handheld console at some point of time. Obviously, this doesn't really tell us anything, but I can make a few assumptions or guesses if you want. I do think they will be largely inspired by the Nintendo Switch. That means that it will have touch capacity. It will probably be largely focused on gaming when you're somewhere traveling, but it will also have a mode that will allow you to connect it to a TV. And yeah, I'm really wondering whether getting another portable console on the market could change the way the market currently operates. Because right now, the number of choices for portable gaming is somewhat ridiculous. Right now, you can play on your phones. You can play on a Nintendo Switch. You can play on a Game Boy. You can still play on a Vita or anything else. But you can also use things like Nvidia Shield or really any other tablets to actually enjoy decent games. And you can even buy a Microsoft Windows-based tablet to play, well, games through Steam that are somewhat optimized for touch capacities. And you would be surprised how many of those are actually available because, well, so many developers are actually very lazy and they're just porting their mobile games to PC. But that isn't stopping you from actually attaching a keyboard and using a mouse on your tablet. And while you will not get to play really AAA titles, that isn't stopping you from playing, well, indie games and games like, let's say, Hearthstone, which, as far as I understand, aren't currently available on any other platform than Android, iOS, or Windows. Is Hearthstone available for Switch? Hearthstone Switch. No. So, and Blizzard actually confirms that Hearthstone is not coming to the Switch. That's interesting. That seems like a perfect fit for Hearthstone, to be honest. And they could make a ton of money because many people would create a new account on the Switch. That actually surprised me very much. So, we also do know that Sony actually patented a design for a Nintendo Switch-like console that would be a hybrid somewhere between a home console and a handheld. So maybe when in 3 years, as we have discussed, I think yesterday, maybe in 3 years, on top of the PlayStation 5, we could also see a portable version of the PlayStation 4, as the technology is very likely to have progressed to a point where you could put enough power similar to the PlayStation 4, or at least the original one for almost for sure, and the games from a PlayStation 4 to have those available on a portable console. That actually does sound amazing. That would bring a huge technological leap towards the handheld market. And again, I would very, very much like to see that. And I think competition on the handheld market is something we are in dire need of right now, because right now it's essentially Nintendo against Android, to be honest. And people who game on Android usually game on their phones, and those aren't your dedicated gaming device. That's a device you use also to make phone calls, as it is a phone, to chat with people, to browse the internet, to watch YouTube. And while I'm almost completely certain that the majority of these functions, maybe apart from being able to make classical phone calls, could also be available on another portable console, potentially made by Sony. And when I'm actually thinking of it, having the ability to make phone calls from your portable console could be a pretty amazing thing. Just, you know, get another SIM card. It would give you access to data everywhere, so you could actually be playing online games even when you're not in the reach of Wi-Fi. Man, that actually sounds like a good idea. I'm hoping somebody who, well, is making these kind of devices is actually listening and could bring this piece of idea towards the higher ups. That would be actually a cool console, and that actually might take me towards buying that much more than just being a console. Because when I'm traveling these days, I usually read. I don't really game. Yeah. So now let's take a look at our last piece of news, and this one makes me very happy. So the developers of Battlefield 5, DICE, have actually confirmed that Battlefield 5 will not have a premium pass, and it will not have loot boxes. Yes, fucking yes. This is what we have seen so long ago. It seems that EA has actually learned that having loot boxes in their games brings them just tons and tons and tons of negative PR, and I'm very, very happy to see this, and hopefully other big publishers actually go with those sort of lines as well, and eventually we will see the disappearance of loot boxes from the gaming industry altogether. And with that being said, that's going to be it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please consider giving us a thumbs up here on YouTube and subscribing to the channel. If you're watching on Steam, maybe you want to give us an upvote and follow the blog. Either way, be sure to leave a comment and be sure to tune in tomorrow for more gaming news, as we are your source of daily gaming news every single day. See you guys later with more gaming content.